Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you may be. It's like in Warlord the Stash. Hello, everyone. We've had some updates in the main court case between Ray Thurston / True North and BENE / BGP, which technically they're both BGP, but we'll look past that. Also, an update on Drifter's lawsuit. We'll try and chew through that quickly. But yeah, the titles kind of speaks for itself. I believe that this is not good for Gala / Decentralization as a whole. I've expressed my thoughts about Benefactor being able to turn off Thurston's nodes. I don't know either of them, but I do believe that Web3 is supposed to be about ownership of these in-game assets and ownership of the coins and ownership of these nodes, right? So for someone to have a dispute with someone literally in court and then they do something that is a negative towards that person because they couldn't get it done through the court, it just doesn't feel right with me. I know a lot of you are going to say, oh, but I'm getting more Gala from my distribution. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. But that doesn't change the fact that I don't believe you should be celebrating BENE being able to turn off Thurston's nodes on some basis that it's been 2.5 years, you know? So yeah, let's go ahead and look at that. All right, here we go. You can see we have some orders here. No, I'm sorry. This is the wrong one. Excuse me. That's Drifter. Okay, we've got all the way down here at the bottom, we've got order on motion for TRO and then another order. And this, we'll get this one out of the way. This order is asking them to comply with paragraph 3 of the order to propose schedule within 14 days. So talking about how they kept extending the time out, and we got to move this thing forward, you know. But yeah, order on motion for TRO. So let's look at that. All right, so here you go. Memorandum, decision, and order denying counterclaimant's motion for temporary restraining order. So this is Thurston / True North's attempt to get their nodes back on. And our boy, Howard C. Nielsen, is the judge in charge. True North asserts that BENE unlawfully directed BGP to shut down thousands of True North's nodes, which generate cryptocurrency tokens which operated, and bar True North's access to these nodes. True North seeks a temporary restraining order directing Gala Games and BENE to restore True North's access to those nodes so that it once again operate the nodes. If it chooses to do so, the court denies the motion. So the motion was denied. This case is once again before the court on a motion of preliminary relief, referring to there was already a TRO by BENE, and he mentions it here. Mr. Schermeyer and Thurston recently have been embroiled in a dispute. BENE contends that Thurston stole hundreds of $millions. Thurston maintains those tokens belong to him, not the company, and that it is BENE who has stolen, wasted, and misused corporate assets. In tandem with this filing, BENE moved for a temporary restraining order. The court denied the motion, reasoning that BENE had alleged a mere economic loss and had not shown he was likely to suffer irreparable harm. So this is important. The court said, hey, if he did actually steal these, we will be able to get that money to you, so it's not a big deal, which is basically what this is going to boil down to with Thurston as well. The day after the court denied the motion, BENE directed Gala to turn off their nodes. True North suggests that BENE vehemently denies that the plan was to redistribute nodes to the Gala Games employees. Now, we still haven't seen evidence of that, but that was one of the assertions, right? True North filed counterclaims and cross-claims asserting the suspension and the redistribution is wrongful. It then moved for the TRO to turn them back on. The court denies True North's motion for a temporary restraining order for the same reason it previously denied BENE's motion. True North alleges mere economic harm that can be adequately compensated with money damages. As discussed last time, and it goes into what they mentioned previously. So it talks about the irreparable harm. And this is why I think that either they didn't explain it well enough in their documents, but I could be wrong here, but I believe that the node owners get drops, right? Get random drops. Random drops, right? So that could not be adequately calculated. Ultimately, what they're saying here is if they were turned off at this date, and let's say the judgment's in 3 months, we could calculate how much Gala they would have gotten all those days that it was not on, and therefore calculate the value of what each a daily amount would be based off of what the price is. And I can understand both sides of the argument, where there's fluctuation in the price, obviously, and also that, you know, you could just do an average for the day. But regardless, it would be a dollar amount. And that's where I counter back with, what about the random drops, right? The nodes are supposed to be getting these random drops. So if it's random, that can't be calculated by just looking at the price of the, you know, the daily Gala, right? So I think that is ultimately where I feel like this argument isn't completely solid, but that I don't think the judge knows that. And the judge would know that if they had put that in the document, which I'm assuming they didn't do. I don't remember seeing anything about that. Let me rephrase that. Rather, the nodes to which True North has lost access are essentially financial instruments capable of generating regular cash payments. An award of damages for the missed payments would adequately remedy the loss. So again, that's not what the nodes are supposed to be, right? The nodes are supposed to be running the backbone of the ecosystem. And I guess I could have argued that not having those on would also hurt the ecosystem. I think the problem was that Thurston went at it with just, hey, they turned this off, I'm supposed to be having these on. I think the ultimate problem is the judge can't say that it's wrong or right. He can merely only say what a TRO is supposed to do, and if, whether it's BENE's TRO or Thurston's TRO, does it meet the criteria. And unfortunately, both of their TROs did not meet the criteria. Ultimately, that the court can, once the merits are ultimately resolved, calculate the damages that are suffered in the interim. So again, we can figure it out. Now, he also states that they mention that BENE won't be able to pay because of the other lawsuit. And this is where he talks about divide the number of tokens distributed, get the number that they would have gotten, and then they could repeat this process for each day that True North's nodes are shut off. Again, that's a simplistic way of doing it, right? But you know, it's not like the stock market where the price ends at a certain time of day. You know what I mean? So the price is always fluctuating. It's not apples to apples here, I think, but I do understand what the judge is saying. True North nevertheless argues the damage would be too difficult to quantify because tokens must be converted to dollars, although it does not appear to dispute the market rates for converting Gala tokens that are posted daily. True North argues that these post-conversions rates to calculate the value of tokens would have received each day would be arbitrary and unfair because True North would not have liquidated the tokens it earned at the end of each day, but have instead have done so only during market upturns. Saying that they wouldn't have done it, you know, every day, which would mean that they can't get an equal amount. These problems are not unique to cryptocurrency. Any plaintiff who has lost assets or money can claim that he would have been a sage investor in the but-for world where he suffered no loss. He would have sold the lost assets. See, this is where I feel like they could have, you know, looked at his what he was doing with the cryptocurrency. In cases involving conversion of stock, sometimes parties seek the highest intermediate stock price. So this is basically just, it's alluding it to a stock, and therefore they can calculate what the value would be based off of previous data. The court need not decide if any of these options would be appropriate if True North prevails on its counterclaims and cross-claims. The point is that it does not follow that damages are inadequate simply because a plaintiff can or does make such an argument. Again, only a reasonable measure of True North's damages need be available to preclude the preliminary relief it seeks. Finally, True North argues that BENE's erratic and abusive mismanagement of Gala Games might result in no longer having the assets to pay the damages. Well, that's fair. But they have to show that they're likely unable to pay for those damages, which they have not. That, in turn, means that showing that the risk of insolvency is likely and imminent is not met. True North, which offers as support this argument only another company's mere allegations in a different lawsuit that Gala Games did not pay some of its invoices, does not come close to making such a showing. For the foregoing reasons, plaintiff's motion for temporary restraining order is denied. It is so ordered. So there you go. Our boy Howard Neesland said, "Hey, listen, you can't get it because you can't prove that you wouldn't be able to recoup that money monetarily." And again, I think this is where the issue is. They didn't bring up that the nodes have random drops. And I think that would be an argument to where you can't calculate that. Yes, you can say you can average out the daily of the Gala reward, but the random rewards, that I think is an argument that wasn't being used. On top of the fact that these nodes are supposed to be running the ecosystem, not just printing money. So that wasn't mentioned, which kind of tells me that they don't actually, you know what I mean? I feel like the nodes aren't doing what they're saying they're doing, you know, but that's just me. I think ultimately, regardless, the problem here is that BENE can turn off your nodes if he doesn't like you. And I think that's an issue. And I think everyone should have an issue with that. Some people don't, because they're getting more Gala every day, and that's fine if that makes you happy. But I just don't think that's I don't think that's a good thing. A quick update on the Drifter. We had an answer to the counterclaim and an answer to the complaint. So we're going to look at those two. This is filed, the civil action. Answer and affirmative defenses to counterclaims. Okay, Drifter is the defendant. Drifter is the plaintiff. Defendant is Gala. Drifter denies each and every allegation in Gala's counterclaim, except those expressly admitted below. And it goes through all of this. I will do this on another day because I've got to go. But basically, they both say, "Hey, you lied, I lied." Dismissal of the defendant's counterclaims. Drifter wants them to dismiss their counterclaims, and then wants all their money. And then Gala refiled as well. They wish to they deny all the allegations, etc. Everything's denied, and then they want all of the cause for relief. They want prayer for relief. Excuse me. They want them to. All right, relief requested. They want them to dismiss the case. They want judgment in favor of Gala. And then this is interesting. They want them to perform their obligations under the contract. An award of damages to compensate for their breaches of contract, restitution of payments that Gala had made to Drifter under the contract, disgorgement of any benefit received by Drifter under the contract, prejudgment and post-judgment interest, striking or sealing exhibits 1 or 2 to Drifter's complaints, injunctive relief, declaratory relief, other relief. So, yeah, they want money and they want them to finish the job. So, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but here we are. So, final thoughts. Again, I don't think this is a good sign. I don't think it's a good thing. Period. Into discussion. Whatever side that you are on, whether it's the side of Gala Games, Gala Games community, excuse me, Thurston, BENE, whoever side you're on, I don't think it is good for decentralization, which is what Gala, claims to be a patron saint of. That he can just turn it off. I will say this is a little bit of a tidbit here. Let me get out of the way again. This was shown to me the other day. If you look at Bucks' page, it says, starting something in Web3 good, scaling something truly decentralized, beyond it better, news coming soon. Truly decentralized. That's almost like that's implying that Gala wasn't actually decentralized. I think we'd all argue that the two co-founders having 14,000 nodes amongst themselves would not make it very decentralized, them being able to turn off your stuff or get rid of your FTs if they choose to. I don't think that's very decentralized, if you're asking my opinion. So that's it. That's what I think. I think it's not a good thing that it got denied, because that means BENE can turn your shit off if he doesn't like you. And I think the evidence points that's what he did. They argued because he breached the founder's node contract. Yet he waited until 12 hours after he didn't get his TRO against Thurston to do it, and not the 2.5 years prior when he allegedly stole from Gala. You see where I'm getting at? He waited too long. Everything BENE says about this, I'd take with that grain of salt, which is probably a mountain of salt at this point. It's been 2.5 years. Why now? Why now? So, that all being said, got any questions, leave them down below. You can also leave your thoughts down below. Got Discord links, easy way to get a hold of me. Link to my Discord itself if you want to join. We also have links if you want to help support the channel. I appreciate all you being here. Hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll be streaming later. Like a warlord, the stage. I love you all. Take care. Bye-bye.
I get tired of stupidity at this level. I'm giving yo money and I'm the devil. I got 50 dudes working hard, so suck my dick. I literally have guys so stressed they're getting sick. You're a fucking parasite that don't care about the game. You better recognize this band Hummer's got auto win. I feel fucking bad for weeds unless I bend someone, because my dick weighs fucking more than a gross ton. How you fucking feeling about the drop of us trolls? I'm not a fish man, but I do like avocado rolls. Some asshole decided to crochet it on Gala. Fuck him, I'll send them straight to Gala. Don't fucking point out every Gala shortcoming. Step the fuck back, cease and desist incoming. This isn't the forum for you guys to bitch, so be careful, I got a serious man itch. Stop your bitching, you're all bitching. The wine and bitching, fucking would stop bitching. This is our house, fucking don't be an asshole. Business plan, don't be a fucking asshole. Yes, that is me you are talking about, home slice. And I'll ban for that without thinking twice. I know I'm not a fucking people pleaser, but as promised, here is a little dragon teaser.
I suppose it's time for an AMA, I guess.
Ooh, you made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching this video. I want to shout out my Patreons from Patreon, and my new YouTube members as well. I got that going. Appreciate all of you. Thank you so very much. Your help has been crucial to keeping me alive and keep streaming and keep helping and hopefully entertaining you along the way. Anything I can do to make it more worth your while, please let me know down below. Also, you can find me on my Discord. I have my Discord server link down below, Patreon links down below, and then membership should be somewhere around here. Thank you all so very, very much. I really appreciate you. And I look forward to the future, and I hope you will come along for this journey with me. Thank you. Take care.